Chrissy, what did you say?
I'm preparing for a TED Talk.
Oh, how? Where? Tell me more information.
Because I was a toxic gamer and I gotta talk about that.
Yeah,
They're all
Chrissy's super toxic.
gamers.
I straight up just quit a Valorant game mid-game.
Why? What happened?
Because it was pain. I had like the cheap sniper rifle and I was the last player alive and the enemies were rushing me. And I took like 4 shots around the corner and every single one of those missed. Every single shot. And so basically over like 3 to 5 seconds I went from okay, we can play this as a team and we're gonna do our best to I do not want to associate with this game. I don't want to play it. I don't want to be here. I just want it to stop. And so I just quit. I dropped my gun. I went for them with a knife. The teammates in the chat were like, Sage, why? And then I just quit the game. I decided to touch grass.
Ew, why would you do that? That's sad. I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't know.
Oh, that happens so much. Honestly, yeah, if you needed that break, go for that break.
I mean,
just don't do that in competitive. You will get like a ban.
yeah, of course.
No, she's still gonna get a ban. You also get banned in
There's like a really nice warning about the consequences of your own actions.
Yep.
But at the same time, I kind of get the feeling that this might be a little bit how all those like competitive players feel. Because you can be at the top of your game and eventually your body is just gonna make the decision that, hey, your hand and eye coordination, what's that about? Time to stop. And it's kind of a bummer. Because they can be like better than 99% of the players out there, but they are still not gonna be able to compete at the level that they would have previously.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's usually
they
why
will,
they do
but like they
warm-ups.
just need a reset. Yeah, and that as well. There's hand warm-ups, wrist warm-ups, finger warm-ups, eye warm-ups that I used to do before playing competitive Minecraft. It's crazy. I should do it for like Valorant, but I find it.
I mean, that is perfectly fine, but as you age, some of that coordination and some of that reaction speed is inevitably going to kind of decrease. There were actually also studies that the kind of more senior people, they don't even hear some of the sounds that other people do because of the frequencies and how ears kind of, you know, slowly deteriorate with age, even if that sounds kind of grim, right?
Valorant needs a
Chrissy.
promo feature for the ears.
Here's a grim little fact about me. The normal hearing range of a 50-year-old is about 18,000 decibels or something, 18,000 hertz. My hearing range is about 17,000 to 18,000.
Yeah. So you wouldn't hear like the super high noise that the, let's say, phone chargers and stuff make. So if you have like a phone charger, some people
Chargers make noises.
yeah, you can hear like a very, very high-pitched sort of squeaking noise.
Those are the
Sorry,
only
you're
the bad
blowing my
ones.
mind right now.
Chrissy, not all ones do that.
I mean,
It's only
some
specific
do.
ones.
At least my bad ones do.
But Chrissy, a normal 21-year-old is supposed to hear anywhere between 20,000 and 23,000. No, not 23,000.
From 20 to 20,000, roughly.
Mimi, I found this cool looking snake. Where are you?
I'm in the prison.
Oh, okay.
Mimi
Never mind.
got sent to jail. But like my whole thing is that nowadays when I play games, I'm just straight up worse than most people, regardless of the game. I'm not even that old. I don't know what's up with my brain. Maybe just sleep deprivation for years kind of bonked me.
Honestly, same. I'm also just bad at games. But I accept it at this point.
Yeah. But also the freaking emotions are so strong. It's like from one moment everything is okay and like we're gonna try and stuff, and seconds later I don't want anything to do with the game. I guess that's how Mimi feels when we play like jank games and stuff.
Honestly, your game is bringing such terrible freaking memories to my life. Those jank games are the worst. No offense, of course.
I mean, that's fine. But that's also kind of why I didn't want Mimi to play one of those jank games, even though she said, oh hey, you know, if you do the programming thing, I totally would.
I mean, playing a jank game isn't inherently bad. It's just, if it's a jank game and I can just turn off my brain and play it with you, I'm fine with that. But if I have to learn something while playing that, it becomes a chore and it becomes painful.
Yeah. But that's also me with like Arma. The actual gameplay of Arma, and at this point most competitive shooters and like any competitive game where it's like PvP, it's just pure pain. 100% of the time it's not pleasant. But I still kind of enjoy the gameplay and the idea, but I don't enjoy playing against other people. Which is a shame, you know, because, you know, most games don't really have like bots and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, I kind of enjoy it because I don't really take it that seriously enough to get frustrated over.
But then
Yeah,
again,
frustrated.
you are not bad at games like I am bad at them, right? In Valorant, I get stepped on pretty much every single match, and like a negative
Chrissy, that's a
KDR.
lie. No, that's a lie. I've seen you play.
haven't
You've shared
streamed Valorant.
screenshots of you play. Like, you do good in Valorant. There are like some games where it's like, yeah, not the greatest, but there are other games where it's just
Yeah,
you
but
do
that's
better
the
than
thing when
me.
it's like evenly balanced with people of similar skill sets. In unranked, it's just so all over the place, and there's always people who are like 10 times better than our team and just get like 20 and 30 kills. And Mimi might enjoy the game because she's one of those people. Whereas on the opponent team, and there's someone who's like 0 and 7 or 0 and 9, they're not gonna be having a fun time. It's like all of those silly, like, old Modern Warfare gameplay videos where there's a person who's just super angry because they get stepped on. And I feel
Well,
bad
I
for
think it
those
depends
people.
on the mindset and the reason why you play the game. Some people play the
Yeah.
game and want to be good at it. Some people just want to like meet new people in the game, chat. Some people just want to play with friends and have a
Yeah,
good
that's the
time,
thing.
you know?
I want to play with friends and just kind of be there for the game and the overall experience, but not the like round by round gameplay and fighting other people. I don't have a competitive mindset in that sense.
You don't even need, most of the time you don't really need to be competitive, just play around. Unless you play competitive itself.
I mean, yeah.
But even those games, some of them are just pure chaos and make no sense, and it's just us screaming and laughing.
Yeah.
I realized with Chrissy the other day that like when I play competitive, I'm quite chill, but when I play unranked, that's when I'm like serious.
That
and
should be the
I'm
other
like,
way
I don't
around.
know
What the
why.
heck?
Yeah, I don't know why, but
It's like, if you play unrated, you don't want to be worse than the players that play unrated. Like, they're scum.
But if you're doing try hard,
True.
and also you just called me scum, how dare?
well,
Yeah,
for
but
now, until you level
yeah, for
20.
now. But
Yeah,
people
but
that primarily play unrated are just like, why even play the game?
but that's the thing with matchmaking and games with like other people. Because I know for a fact that y'all are gonna be just better than me in most cases, at least if I play on your servers. That's a given, right? No two ways to think about it. And that will make the game way less enjoyable. But if I end up with like friggin' casuals in one of the lower ranks, the game itself will be more enjoyable for me. Right?
Yeah,
And that's a big dilemma because there's no way to really fix that. Because if you have a friend group in like online matchmaking with 4 people who are good and the 5th person is really bad, that 5th person will just need their friends to like carry the whole game experience and make it enjoyable for them.
Okay, now that you say that, I need to say, I was the 5th person. Like, I have this group of friends that I used to play Valorant with. Like, before we had South African servers and stuff, I would play Valorant with them, and they all in Europe. So they have like 10 ping, and I have like 200 ping on average.
Yeah.
And I was the 5th. I literally couldn't stop playing with them. Well, I couldn't play competitive with them, but they'd still like say, oh no, just come play Swift play. It's fine. You're still gonna have fun. And it wasn't about, like, they bully the hell out of me, but it was about just having fun. It wasn't about, oh, we just want to win. No, it's unranked, so they're just like, let's just have fun. Let's just play with you and have fun.
Yeah,
That
that's
was,
the
like,
thing.
pure
Friends
fun.
make the whole experience enjoyable, but not the actual technicalities when they themselves are kind of a cause for, you know, frustration, I guess, if you take it seriously.
True. There was the one friend that did take it seriously, and like he's like, "I'm done with this. I'm just gonna go and play some competitive without you guys." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
I mean, if they feel that way, good for them.
Yeah, but it also like made you feel a little bit shitty. Like, oh, okay, so you'd rather like. Just
I mean,
be
that's
content
me
still.
saying, oh hey, you know,
Fun.
you should get good if we want to play together ever.
No,
Which
I-
is
I
also
never
at
said that.
odds. I mean, you kind of did, like, oh, you're gonna have to try super hard. And that's a fair
No,
point when talking about a game where your rank matters and you have to take it seriously, right? That's why it's literally called competitive.
No, Chrissy, what I meant was like, I meant the instances where you basically just ran.
Shut
let's say
down.
it's the shutdowns.
But
where
also
it was
that's-
like last round, nothing to lose. You just ran away.
I mean, last round, I guess, but also it's a bit like in League where some people just feed. They go up to opponents, they know they don't stand a chance, they get shot, and the opponents get more money and have like an economical advantage all of a sudden. And that's kind of frowned
Yeah,
upon.
saving
Yeah,
is
but it's like-
fine, but
Like
it's
Valorant for me
certain
goes the same, but
situations.
different. You know? Sorry, I'm so sorry.
No, I'm just
It's okay.
talking over you. The like it's not specifically that, but there's like very nuanced things that are certain. Like if, for instance, there's a person in front of you, instead of shooting them, you just throw your gun at them and run away. That type of thing.
I mean, no joke,
not
that
really
was that
something you
last
do.
match when I got frustrated.
Yeah. Even when you're frustrated or annoyed or borderline having a mental breakdown, it's gotta keep playing.
Oh my god, it's like those videos where
Hi.
there's like martial arts and someone's very unsportsmanlike, or I don't know, like they refuse a handshake, which is like this traditional gesture of, you know, appreciation or whatever when you're facing off against an opponent. Or even worse, when someone like straight up sucker punches an opponent, which is, I guess, borderline crimes and stuff. It's the same vibe. It's just something
Yeah.
that's present in human nature, and unlearning that frustration and not letting it get to you, that is hard. Everyone's always like, oh hey, you know, Tilted, go touch grass, but no one talks about how people get there and how human that experience is in of itself. Now that's a friggin' tragedy if you ask me.
I don't really find Valorant. The only time I've ever gotten annoyed at Valorant is when I'm like losing for no reason. Like let's say I'm playing the game and I get lag spikes.
Oh no.
It's if I lose for unfair reasons, I'm triggered.
Yeah. But also, it's very much the same way how there is stuff like road rage. People getting angry over literal like road traffic. And it shouldn't be a thing, but it is a thing. And that's a part of human nature. An unfortunate part,
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
but it's there.
I'm sorry, I do this a lot, but I'm gonna bring it down to psychology because my brain, that's how my brain decides to work.
Yeah.
So I've gathered that basically with humans, we don't like to admit our own flaws most times. Like sometimes we are okay with like, oh yeah, I screwed up, I'm sorry. But most times it's just like, I don't want to admit that I'm wrong, regardless of who I'm admitting it to and how long I've like associated with them, how comfortable I am. I just don't really want to admit that I'm wrong. So
Yeah.
we'd rather look for scapegoats than actually admit like, oh, I messed up there, let me do better. There's like let me bring it to Valorant.
Of course.
There's been, I can speak for myself on a personal level here, there's been a few instances, well, quite a few, where I'm like playing the game and I'll make an error, completely 100% me, but then I will just be like, no, that's lag spike. No, it's whatever. And like, even though I'm used to that kind of like ping range and stuff, I'll still try and find a reason to blame it when I actually like take a second to think about what happened and realize, well, I was being too aggressive. I had no information on what's happening. I really just don't admit that I'm wrong. And that's the problem humans, you're right in that aspect. We all have that problem. We just, yeah.
Can I kind of interject here for a second?
Yeah, of course.
That is just straight up a coping mechanism that humans have, and I'd say we kind of to a degree need. Because what is the alternative? Acknowledging that you kind of messed up and experiencing just unadulterated pain at it? Because that's what the sensation is kind of going to be. right? Like, if I am
really.
bad at the game and I get absolutely bonked, I will either try to feign like ignorance and be like, oh, I don't even care about this that much, or alternatively, I don't know, okay, maybe not me, but in general, yeah, lag spikes, ping, bad controller, and all that other stuff. Because if you cannot make yourself be a little bit like detached from what's going on, you're just gonna have a lot of pain to deal with, and no one likes that, okay?
True, but that's why it's really hard. Like no one can do it all the time, but there are times when we can just be like, you know what?
Yeah, I
That was
mean,
stupid.
in
It's
life,
funny. Let me just laugh about it and move on. You know?
yes, in life in general, it's good to be able to take kind of a step back and consider what's going on, what the causes for that are, and just kind of think about how to do better going forwards. But at the same time, coping mechanisms are kind of useful because no one can survive this friggin' reality by being fully lucid all the time. No joke.
That is true. That is very true. But we also just like need to stop taking life so seriously, which is kind of saying a lot, to be fair.
Yeah, but if you wanna enjoy a game and you're just like bad at it, like I was in that one round, like take 4 shots at an enemy around the corner, miss every single one, they're pushing up. It's kind of understandable that your brain's just gonna friggin' sign out.
Yeah, sorry. I know you want to say something. Maybe just give me 1 second, please. I'm so sorry. Like when we played Chrissy, I was so tilted in that unranked lobby. You know, I was actually upset.
Yeah.
And yeah, I wanted to blame everyone and everything except for myself, but I knew I was just like doing bad. But like frustration and stuff, we don't always win.